A lot of us think that success is all about working harder, right? Just grinding it out. But what if that's only half the picture? Real change, the kind that transforms your income, happens when you stop just working hard and you start working smart. Today, I'm going to walk you through the 5-book blueprint that completely flipped the script for me.
So let's just start with the big question. Is working harder and harder really the only way to get ahead? You know, for years, I was stuck on that exact treadmill. I was putting in crazy hours, but my bank account just wasn't changing. It felt like I was sprinting in place. And asking myself this one simple question is what finally sparked a change.
This slide pretty much nails the shift I'm talking about. The old way, over on the left, that's the hamster wheel. You're just trading your precious time for money. But the new way, that's about building a blueprint. It's about planting seeds, building assets that actually work for you and grow, even when you're not on the clock. It's the difference between being a cog in the machine and owning the whole thing.
Okay, so where do we even start? Well, you got to start with the foundation, right? The very first part of this blueprint is all about changing your mindset. Before you can ever change your bank account, you have to fundamentally change how you think about money and work. Everything, and I mean everything, is built on top of this.
For me, the book that just completely shattered my old beliefs was Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. This book taught me the single most important lesson I've ever learned about money. Stop working for money and start making your money work for you. This is absolutely the essential first step.
And this is the core idea from the book. It's so simple, it's almost deceptive. An asset puts money in your pocket. A liability takes money out. That's it. Once I really truly got that, it changed every single financial decision I made. The question just became, is this thing I'm about to buy an asset, or is it a liability? And here's how that played out in the real world. I realized my 9-to-5 job was just a trade, my time for their money. So I started freelancing. I wasn't just earning a paycheck anymore. I was building a business, a brand, a client list. I was building an asset that could grow way beyond the number of hours I put in.
So the mindset is in place. That's huge. But a mindset without action is just a daydream, right? So step 2 of the blueprint is all about building your engine. It's about creating the habits and the systems that turn that new thinking into actual real momentum.
For this, we turn to the incredible Atomic Habits by James Clear. As a student and then a freelancer, I was in a constant battle with procrastination, laziness. This book was a total game changer. It's the practical step-by-step guide for building the consistency you absolutely need to succeed. And this is the secret sauce. You don't have to worry about these massive, life-altering changes. Just focus on one thing, getting 1% better every single day. For me, that meant dedicating 1 to 2 hours every day, no excuses, to my freelance business. That small, consistent effort, it compounded over time into a really significant income.
But building good habits isn't always a straight line. The journey is tough, and you are going to face rejection. It's just part of the game. And this is where you need some mental armor. For that, I turn to the classic, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. This book is all about mastering the psychology of persistence, especially when you feel like quitting.
And trust me, I needed it. When I first started freelancing on Fiverr, this was my reality. 50 rejections. That's 50 times someone told me no. It's crushing. And honestly, the old version of me, I would have quit right there, for sure.
But those principles from the book, desire, faith, and especially persistence, they kept me in the game. And just look at the contrast. That brutal start paved the way for over 1,000 completed jobs. Persistence isn't just some fluffy quote you see on a poster. It is a core business strategy. Okay, let's move to the next stage. Because once you start seeing some success, a whole new problem pops up. What in the world do you do with it? Making money is one skill, but keeping it and growing it, well, that's a whole other ball game. This is about mastering your growth.
The perfect guide for this phase is The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. It brilliantly explains that managing money has way more to do with your psychology than it does with complex spreadsheets. Earning it is one skill. Keeping it is a completely different and often much harder one.
So, inspired by that book, I created a really simple but powerful rule for myself. It doesn't matter what I earn. 50% of it, right off the top, gets reinvested into my skills, my tools, my future. The other 50% is for living. This super simple rule makes sure that I am always paying my future self first.
All right, last piece of the puzzle. You can have the perfect mindset, the best habits, a solid financial plan, but if you can't communicate with people, you're gonna hit a ceiling. This is so true in freelancing. And that's where Dale Carnegie's timeless classic, How to Win Friends and Influence People, becomes absolutely essential.
And hey, this isn't just some vague theory. Look at the data. After I started applying the principles from that book to my proposals on Upwork, my client reply rate literally doubled. Doubled! Better communication directly translated to more business. It really is that simple.
So there you have it. We've gone through the whole process, from mindset to momentum to management. This isn't just a random list of books. It's a complete 5-step blueprint that you can use to start your own journey. Let's just boil it down one last time. 1. Build assets. Stop trading your time for money. 2. Just get 1% better every day. 3. Push through the failures. 4. Reinvest half of what you make back into yourself. And 5. Master communication. That's it. That's the entire plan.
And you know what the best part is? You can start this journey today without spending a dime. All 5 of these books are available as free PDFs from legal online archives. You don't even have to read them in order. Just look at the list and pick the one that solves your biggest, most painful problem right now. Start there.
Look, the blueprint is right here. The tools are free. They're accessible. The only variable left in this whole equation is you. So my final question for you is a simple one. When will your transformation begin?